Hi, this is Kim from KimberlyKoehler.com, and today I'm going to teach you how to make a bead cage. So to make a bead cage, you're going to need wire, and I'm using 20 gauge wire. It's silver plated copper wire. You need wire cutters. You need round nose pliers. And you need bent nose pliers, as well as a pair of chain nose pliers. If you don't have the bent nose, it's okay, you can make do without them. And you also are going to want a roller, and of course a bead. And I'm going to show you for a 8mm bead, but you can just vary the length of your wire and the size of your cage for other size beads. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is cut a piece of wire about 6 inches long, and then you're going to want to try to kind of straighten it out a little bit. Nylon pliers are best for this, but mine are broken at the moment. My nylon fell off and I have to get that fixed. So you could just pull your finger down and it usually gets it so it's good enough. And then I just make sure each side of my wire has a flush cut and not a pinch cut. So you want to use the back end of your wire cutters to do that. And then you need your round nose pliers. And on my round nose pliers I have 2 marks, which you can't really see. One is back here and the other one is up here closer. This one I use more for like when I'm making a beaded link or something like that, or I'm just making like a regular loop. This one is for smaller when I'm making starting spirals and things like that. So I'm going to use a smaller one. So to make the cage, actually the first thing I do is I kind of cheat. I don't know if other people do this. I kind of make a bend in the middle so I know where the middle is. And then I just straighten it out. But I can still kind of see it and feel it there a little bit. Alright, so you're going to take your wire and hold it in your round nose pliers. You want it so the wire is at the top, but you can't feel it. So this is wrong, because when I run my finger across it, it moves. So I'm going to move it down a little bit so I can still feel it. There we go. And so what you do is you just twist the wire away from you until you can't move your wrist any further. So you're basically just twisting your wrist. And then you kind of loosen and readjust. And this is why this mark on your pliers helps so much, so you don't lose track of where the spot is on the pliers. And then you finish it so that the wire touches the other wire and you kind of have a P. So then you do the same thing on the other end, but you make the loop in the other direction. So you kind of have a P on either side going either direction. Then you grab your chain nose pliers and you hold the loop in the middle of it, and then we're just going to start wrapping around. So you just kind of hold the wire, push up, let go, readjust. You keep doing that. It might seem awkward at first, but you'll get used to it. And you're just going to keep doing this until you reach that middle point where I put my little pinch mark in. So that's one side, and so then you just repeat that for the other side. So you end up with this sort of S-shaped spiral. So then you will fold that in half. So each of the spirals are on top of each other. And then this is kind of the tricky part. I use bent nose pliers for this because it's easier for me, but you can use whatever pliers you have. So you're just sort of going to grab the middle and pull it out, but kind of do it a little bit like layer by layer. So you want to kind of put your thumbnail in between each of the loops so it doesn't come out too far. And then you flip it over and you do the same thing. Oops, sorry. Same thing again. It's a little tricky. Kind of get used to it. You'll also probably, I've already screwed up my thumbnail. But, you know, this is part of wire wrapping. Alright, so now we have a cage. So now we get our bead. And you put it in the middle part here. And then you want to make sure that the bead, the holes of the bead, face kind of the ends of the cage. So I usually just use a little head pin and get it situated. I don't know. I see other people do this and they don't have as much problems, though I'm not sure why. And then you just sort of push the cage down around, close it around the bead. And then you have a caged bead, which looks pretty cool. And then from there you can use the head pin and make a little bead dangle, or you can make a link out of this to make your jewelry. So that is how you make a bead cage. This is Kim from KimberlyKoehler.com.